So I have an awesome challenge for you, but before we do that, I want to teach you a cool URL technique that you can use when you have lots of different apps in a project. So this one only has 2 apps, but you'll see how this is useful. So if we go ahead and move to our urls.py inside of the project level settings, you'll notice there's this commented out portion above, and this is basically just Django telling you, hey, here's some helpful things that might, get you going. And one of them, in fact, shows you the example for a blog, and that's exactly what we're working with here. So what you can do is you can basically forward all the URL requests to a particular app if some sort of name is provided. So if we take literally what is the documentation here, it's just kind of funny that this has the same name as what we're doing. If we copy this path blog slash, and if for whatever reason Django hasn't included this, you can just type this out, but go ahead and copy this and add this to your URL patterns. Don't forget the little comma at the end here, but basically what this says is it says anything that comes to our website that is /blog/ and then it doesn't matter what's after that, it's going to forward it over to our blog app. Okay? So the thing about this is inside of our blog, you'll notice there's no urls.py. So we actually have to right click here and say new file and make a urls.py, make sure it has an S. And we're going to have to go through the work of setting something up here. So for example, I'm going to go back and just copy a lot of what we have from our other URLs page. So I'm going to copy this, paste it here. So we don't need the admin. We're not going to display that. We do need the stuff for path. We don't need static or settings, so we can go ahead and get rid of that. And we don't need a portfolio. In fact, if we're going to import the views for the blog here, we can actually just do a dot because they're inside of the same folder. So we can say from dot import views, and that's importing the blog apps views.py file. Okay. So with this, let's go ahead and just make essentially a home page, but you'll notice it's not exactly a home page. So let's go ahead and have this path that is an empty string. Rather than calling this home, I'm going to call this all_blogs. Okay, and I'm going to give it the exact same name, all_blogs. All right, so I'm going to save this. Also save the first urls.py. Make sure you save both. Then I'm going to go to the blog views.py. I'm going to make a function with that name, all_blogs. I'm going to pass request in there, do my little colon, and then I'm going to say return render, pass in the request, comma, and then I'm going to do a string that is, in this case, it's not portfolio, it's blog / and I'll do all_blogs.html. Okay, so I'll save this. Now I need to add a new template file here inside of the blog. So I'm going to do a new file here. This is kind of a cool thing with Atom. I can say /blog /templates /blog /all_blogs.html. So this essentially just creates those 2 directories I want to make for me and the particular file. So I'll hit enter on this, and then let's just say hello blog, so we know what that is. Okay, so I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to come back to the site and look at this. I'm going to do /blog and hit enter, and nothing comes up. Okay, that was major fail. Path, blog, error name include is not defined. Okay, I forgot. Go to the URLs that's inside of the project level stuff, the personal portfolio blogs here, and we need to make sure that this include that we're using is imported. Okay, so we need to go to where we have path. We're going to say comma and then add include. So these both come from django.urls. So make sure you have that there. Hit save. Man, I was so pumped up to show you this. And now reload, and look at that. Okay, it works. So let me walk you through, especially with that error. It might be a little bit confusing what happened here. What we have is, so when I went to /blog, this is what happened. It came into the Django project, and it went to the project level urls.py, this file. And it said, do I have any paths that match /blog? And it says, oh, look, I have this path, which says, you should forward this on to the blog apps urls.py file. That's what this line is saying here. So it then moves over to this urls.py, and it says, if there's nothing provided, then show all blogs. And you might be wondering, well, how come if I like do this, for instance, how come that isn't showing the all blog stuff? Well, the reason is when it does the forward, like from this urls.py, it says, I already assume that blog / is there. So when I say like the home page over here, that means it's like the /blog already. So for example, if you wanted to see this a little bit more clearly, let's say I add something here like hello, okay? Save this. So this is inside of the blogs urls.py. I have this new path hello to show all the blogs, okay? If I go to /blog, it doesn't show me anything. But if I go to /blog /hello, well, all of a sudden then it shows up. So the reason that this is cool and important to Django is that, right, if you have a website that has lots of different apps doing different things, like you have an authentication system, you have the blog, you have a calendaring thing, it can be really nice to have all those URLs in different apps, because you can imagine if each of those apps had maybe 15 different URLs, think about if they all had to be inside of the project level urls.py. Like this file would be massive and it'd be really confusing about which one was pointing where. Whereas this way we can say anything blog related, go ahead and forward it to this. Now, you don't have to do this. For example, we just said, hey, for our portfolio stuff, we don't want to have someone to have to say portfolio / this thing to whatever. Like for the homepage, just show the homepage and make sure that we forward them to the portfolio views. That's what we've done here. But if you have lots of apps, that can be a really nice thing, okay? So with this in place, this is a really nice setup for, let me go ahead and put this back to how it was, our challenge. And I'm going to talk about that in the next one. Essentially what you're going to do is you're going to make all the blogs show up on this page.